Hi, I'm Greg Masters, Managing Editor of SC Magazine, and it's our pleasure today to have Tomer Teller, Security Evangelist and Researcher at Checkpoint Software and Technologies. Tomer, I know you were at RSA last month, and you presented on advanced threats. We're about 3 months into 2013. So what could you tell us now about what are the most predominant threats that organizations are facing now?
So, in my presentation in RSA, I talk about a concept I like to call the 1%. These are programs or malicious programs that just do not reuse old techniques, and they manage to bypass all the security layers a company has deployed in order to penetrate and compromise the machine inside the organization. And I talked about the idea that we need to break down these attacks. We all know the anatomy of an advanced threat. First of all, you need to reach and grab some intelligence from an adversary. You need to understand who is attacking you, where is he coming from, when he's going to do it, and why. And once you know how to answer these questions, you can actually go back and implement them. And for an instance, a lot of in a normal advanced threat, your adversary will try to get some intelligence on you. So employing simple techniques such as counterintelligence, deploying fake machines all over the internet with fake information and monitor them will help you figure out exactly if someone is targeting you. And knowing is only half of the battle. After that, even if the adversary got some intelligence on you, you still need to weaponize and have some working exploits and reliable exploit to penetrate the organization. And this is not trivial today. Writing an exploit today that will bypass all the security mitigations that have been deployed, which will be reliable and will run with 100% reliability, is not easy. And we've seen that only last month, a competition in Vancouver called Pwn to Own. We've seen a lot of attacks, and we've seen how much researchers have put into research in order to write those vulnerability and exploit, and the cost of those exploits. So sometimes organizations and attackers are trying to avoid using this kind of sophisticated exploits. And even if the attacker managed to slip an exploit, you still need to find a way to deliver it to the attacker. This is another layer that we broke down. There's a way you can do it via malicious link. You can do it via email attachment. You can do it using a USB device. You can use it using internal threat, pay someone from the inside to take the USB or to just take information outside. And using education and technology, we can actually mitigate some of those threats. And I moved on to the second layer and more layers at the end, and I showed that if we break down and understand the attacks, we can actually stop it.
Who are you finding is behind these attacks? Or is it individuals, gangs out for financial gain, nation states out for intellectual property and advantage?
So we have, I think, 3 types of cyber criminals. The first one would be nation state, which is organization, governments. They're trying to attack and grab information from adversaries. And we also have cyber criminals, an organized group that are trying to attack companies in order to get financial information and proprietary information. Just like we heard last week, we saw a breach inside the Australian bank, and this was actually a success story because they understood all the layers. And one of the layers was the malware couldn't install itself because it didn't have enough privilege. They used basic security best practices in order to mitigate a threat. So organizations are starting to understand how to mitigate those advanced threats.
Yeah.
And the last one would be activists, such as Anonymous, trying to attack non-profit organization and just to cause mess in the internet.
There's certainly different ways these attacks are instigated through computers, through the internet, but now mobile is increasingly a problem, right?
Yeah, the rise of mobile application and BYOD trend is a big problem. We just released our annual security report, and we saw that more than 50% of the organization are downloading rogue applications from bad market, which means that you're coming with your device, with your iPhone that could be jailbroken, with your Android that could be rooted. You download a bad application. Once you're inside the organization, game over. That's it. You're inside the organization. The attacker can immediately connect via 3G and exfiltrate all the information outside, easily bypassing all the layers.
And do you think organizations, the boards of directors, the executives are understanding the threat that's out there? Are they allocating enough assets to the security departments of their organization?
So, first of all, I don't think that security has to be expensive, it has to be smart. You first need to answer those questions. Who is going to attack you, where, when, and why, and most importantly, what are they after? What is the most invaluable asset that you need to protect? Once you understand that, you can start building security around it and making sure that even if there's a compromise, and even if they got inside that data, it will be encrypted and there won't be any way to take it outside. And we've clearly seen a lot of organizations using peer-to-peer applications. More than 60% been using a peer-to-peer application inside the organization that gives attackers a lot of ways inside organization, not just through mobile, not just through technology, also through human beings. Social engineering is a big problem today. Calling someone, telling him, I'm from support, can you please help me reset the password? We've seen all those trends and they work.
What chance do organizations have to protect themselves?
So it's a cat and mouse game, but it doesn't have to be like that. I think that we're in an era that, like in every other field, we have to pay in order to learn how to play. And I think we paid enough. We've saw a lot of compromises in the last couple of years, and we've learned. You can look at it as a learning machine, and the learning mode is over. We know how to detect these kind of threats. In order to do that, we need to understand exactly all those layers and try to innovate between those layers. What we do, we take each one of those layers, the intelligent, the compromise, the exploit, the delivery, the installation and persistency, the communication back to the botnet, and we try to innovate in each one of those layers, breaking it down into what we like to call micro-mitigations. And once we innovating, this makes the attacker go back to their drawing board, and it costs them much more money to create a working attack. And at some point they will say, that's too much for me, I'm moving on to the next target. And if they really want that target, they will have to invest much more. But they forget that the defense side is also innovating and deploying new products that are trying to tackle that. So it's all about innovation, intelligence, and collaboration, and understanding who are you up against, what is your most important assets. And that way, an organization can protect themselves and be preemptive.
So my thanks to Tomer Teller of Checkpoint for coming in today, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.